Okay, we're on the other side of the eclipse. Um, and I'm going to talk about my experience and the experience of some of my clients through the eclipse and now after. So, I'm Rachel. If you haven't been to my channel yet, I'm an oracle, spiritual healer, and teacher. I have a varied background. I've been an artist my whole life. I've been a student of the metaphysical world for almost 20 years, and I've been guiding other people for the last 13 years. So, if you haven't watched my video on the eclipse that took place, the full moon total lunar eclipse, I'll put a link in the description. Please check that out, and then you'll better understand some of the things I'll be talking about. So, during the process of the activation from the eclipse, um, I felt this sort of collection in the back of my body. And I experienced that through sort of uncomfortable sensations from my neck, mostly down through all the way to my lower back. And how I've seen that in myself and some of my clients that I've had over the last week is that the past experiences from your soul. So this is your old karma. These are old um, things your soul has experienced that it's now done experiencing. It's ready to no longer experience those things anymore. So it's almost like those things from the past collecting in the body and so that they can be cleared out. And so you may have experienced this for yourself as well. These sort of irritation, tightness, soreness from your neck all the way down into your lower back since the eclipse took place. The other thing that has happened over this last week are very intense, vivid, lucid dreaming. This is something I've experienced, and pretty much everyone I've talked to has also experienced it. And what my guides are telling me is this is part of the waking up. This is the awakening into a new earth, the beginnings of a new earth. So the lucid dreaming is activating parts of your consciousness, parts of your being that you may not always experience. So, for example, your third eye opening up more, having these experiences that feel more like they're part of your awake life, your reality when you're awake, but them actually happening in your dream time. So, this was part of this activating portal that we were in. And to remind you all that it's not over yet, this eclipse that's taking place later this month around the new moon or on the new moon is sort of another set of uh, shifts of another portal that'll take place that has a totally different energy but is connected to what took place with this total lunar eclipse full moon. And it's sort of like an ending to this whole cycle, this whole moon cycle, before we shift into something else coming in April. So you may have also experienced a heightening in your senses, whether it's like smelling things more, hearing things, seeing things. And this is your physical senses and non physical senses. So, again, your third eye could be more activated, or you have this, feeling other people's emotions more intensely, things like that. So, this activating period from this, basically when you started feeling this lunar eclipse to when it happened post lunar eclipse, you might still be feeling sort of the residue or the remnants from that, which includes your senses being heightened because of the activation that took place. So I'm going to pull a few cards around this. Um, and so if you've experienced any of these things, welcome to being a sensitive and tuned person. Oh my gosh, there it is, activation. It's the activation. Um, and just because you're not maybe experiencing any or all of those things, or maybe other things, doesn't mean that it's not happening. It could just mean, that um, those sorts of things are out of your awareness. Um, for example, for people who live in cities or have a very busy, hectic life, the things that are a part of our more subtle nature, that are a part of our more subtle existence, there's just not necessarily space to experience those things consciously, because there's so many other things that are stimulating you, or that are in your awareness, that are sort of taking over, where there's no space for you to have an experience of your more subtle nature, or the more subtle parts of our existence. Second card, renewal. So this has to do again with bringing in the new earth, but individually, this is the sense of feeling sort of refreshed, feeling new, feeling like there's new aspects of yourself, there's new parts of yourself that want to be explored, that want to be expressed, that want to be uncovered or discovered more. And so this deep sense of renewal, again, is coming from this moon cycle, from this activating period, coming into a newer version of yourself. This newer version of yourself isn't over this month. That's important to remember. This newer version of yourself is still unfolding, right? So it's not like, okay, I got the activation, and come Friday, I'm my new me, right? It takes more time than that. It's more of like, maybe there's something there that you're noticing, or maybe something has happened that feels different, right? It's going to continue to happen in that way. And beauty. All of this is to bring in more beauty in our lives, but also to acknowledge the beauty that already exists. And they go hand in hand. The more beauty we acknowledge that exists, the more beauty that there is, right? Because we're actually seeing what's there, and then therefore we notice it more, and then we notice that actually there's beauty in all things. But the type of beauty they're really talking about is, again, as we shift and change, as we evolve, as the world evolves, as the earth changes, it's coming into this higher frequency that's bringing in more light, more love, more beauty, more connection, all of those things. And so it's noticing it on these different levels, like the beauty in just having a simple conversation with your neighbor about the flowers growing in your yard, for example. Um, or talking to the person you get your meat from, the deli. Or just seeing, this morning I had the tiniest little green leaf on my side mirror on my car after a very, very windy morning. And it just ignited this deep sense of joy and love, and connection in me, that it almost, a lot of emotions came up. So that sense of beauty is coming more online, um, which will help counterbalance the sense of chaos that is present. And there's our energy, shift in energy, new energy coming in for everybody. Things are shifting, will continue to shift. Yep. Yeah, and letting go of the past, letting go of what we thought we knew, letting go of what feels familiar, so that we're creating space for the new experiences, for the new energy, for the new version of ourselves, for the new versions of humanity, for new versions of Earth to come in. We got to let go to create that space for it to happen. So I will be doing another video specifically around this new moon, partial solar eclipse soon. And please check out the video on the lunar eclipse I did so you can better understand this video. And if you're enjoying this video and any of the other videos I've done, please like and subscribe. It really does help people who create content on this channel. Thank you.